Hello everyone, welcome to Alpha to Sky. Today we are going to learn a small but very important topic in aviation. So we'll be learning about the Indian organizations that govern the Indian aviation. So here are the authorities, the organizations that govern the Indian aviation, starting with the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Then we have the DGCA, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, the Airport Authority of India. So we'll be going into details on these three organizations, but apart from these three, there are several more. We have the BCAS, or the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. So this organization regulates and oversees the civil aviation security. It is responsible for framing and enforcing the security standards of aviation. It also conducts the security audits and inspection, and it also works for approving security training programs and counter-terrorism and anti-hijacking measures. Then we have the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. So as the name says, its role is to investigate aircraft accidents and serious incidents. It is responsible for independent accident investigation in line with the ICAO Annex 13. So if you remember, we had read about the ICAO annexes, and the Annex 13 is for accident investigation. So as per the ICAO Annex 13, this is the organization that helps with the accident investigation. For determining the probable causes and safety recommendations, also publishing the investigation reports for safety improvement. Next, we have the organization named Pawan Hans Limited. So this is basically a government-owned helicopter service provider. It is responsible for the passenger and cargo helicopter operations, offshore operations for ONGC and oil exploration companies, and it is also helping in the emergency medical services and disaster relief operations that are carried out using helicopters. Then we have the HAL, the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. Its role is basically it is a state-owned aerospace and defense company, and its responsibilities include designing and manufacturing and also maintaining the aircrafts and helicopters. It also helps with the defense aviation projects and indigenous aircraft production, and it also supports the military and civil aviation needs. Next, we have the National Aerospace Laboratories. So it is basically the civil aviation and R&D organization under CSIR, and it is responsible for research in aeronautics and aircraft designs, and also the development of indigenous civil aircraft like the SARAS, and aerodynamic testing and advanced material research. So basically all the research part of aviation that happens here. Okay, so let's discuss more about the Ministry of Civil Aviation, which is located at Rajiv Gandhi Bhavan at the Safdarganj Airport in New Delhi. So this is an apex policy-making body for civil aviation in India. Basically, it makes national plans and rules for developing and regulating civil aviation in India. It formulates national civil aviation policy and enforces Aircraft Act and aircraft rules. So these two are most important in the Indian aviation: the Aircraft Act 1934 and the Aircraft Rules 1937, and other aviation laws. Next, it controls aviation bodies like the DGCA, BCAS, and IGRUA. It oversees PSUs like the Air India, AAI, and the Pawan Hans, which we saw earlier. Next, it also controls. Now, this is a very interesting part. So, Ministry of Civil Aviation also controls the Commission of Railway Safety for rail travel safety. Now, you might wonder why the Civil Aviation Ministry is controlling the Commission of Railway Safety, right? So basically, the CRS, the Commission of Railway Safety, was originally part of the Railway Board itself, but to ensure independent and unbiased safety oversight, it was shifted out of the Ministry of Railways to the Ministry of Civil Aviation, right? So Ministry of Civil Aviation has no stake in railway operations, so CRS can investigate accidents and enforce safety standards without pressure from the railway ministry. So it was like the railway is going to inspect its own thing, which is not correct, which will not be unbiased. So that's why it was moved to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. Next, we have our favorite, the DGCA, Directorate General of Civil Aviation. This is the regulatory body for Indian aviation, which is dealing with the safety issues, and it controls the registration of aircraft and licensing of pilots, AMEs, ATCOs, etc. And it is also approving. It is also responsible for approval of training organizations, MROs, and maintenance standards. It enforces the safety regulations and airworthiness standards for the aircrafts, and it also helps with the accident and incident investigation until it is handed over to the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau. Next, it amends the aviation laws and rules to match ICAO standards and international conventions. So DGCA is the one which is responsible for updating the aviation laws to match with the ICAO standards and international conventions. It gives licenses to Indian Airlines and regulates flights to, from, within and over India by both Indian and foreign operators, including approving scheduled and non-scheduled flights. So DGCA is responsible for licensing the airlines. It could be a foreign airline or the Indian airline which is operating to, from or within India, and approving their flights, both scheduled and non-scheduled. It also controls the certification of aerodromes and CNS or ATM facilities. It coordinates with the civil military use of airspace and works with ICAO to open more civil air routes in Indian airspace. So it coordinates the use of airspace by civil and the military organizations, so that there is a fair use of the airspace by both of these, and there is no issue caused to one by the other. It also works with the ICAO to open more civil routes in the Indian airspace. It monitors aircraft noise and emissions as per the ICAO Annex 16. So ICAO Annex 16 was for controlling the aircraft noise and emissions, and it works with the environmental authorities for that. It encourages the indigenous aircraft and component manufacturing. Basically, it promotes manufacturing the aircraft parts in India itself. And then it approves training and authorizes the carriage of dangerous goods. Next, talking about the Airports Authority of India. It was formed on 1st April 1995 by merging the International Airports Authority of India and the National Airports Authority. So there were these two organizations at that time which were merged in the 1st of April 1995, and that gave rise to the Airports Authority of India. They manage the civil airports and air navigation services. They basically the airport infrastructure development, maintenance and operations, right? Anything related to the airport. Next, they also manage the aircraft traffic and the air navigation services. They implement safety measures and passenger facilities. They also help in the modernization of projects like Gagan, which is the satellite navigation. They manage the Indian airspace beyond territorial limits as per ICAO. So beyond the territorial limits, the management of the Indian airspace happens by the Airports Authority of India. They develop and manage cargo terminals at airports. So the cargo terminals at airports is managed by Airports Authority of India. They provide passenger facilities and information services. They expand and strengthen runways, aprons and taxiways. So all these facilities in the airport is managed, maintained by the Airports Authority of India. They publish the aeronautical information. So these are the documents or information that are crucial for aviation operations. So the documents like AIP, the NOTAMs, Notice to Airmen, the AirActs and the PIBs, etc. are all published by the Airports Authority of India. That was it. We covered the important organizations of aviation, Indian aviation. I hope you liked this one. If not, please let me know what I can do to improve. And thanks for watching.